Hello everybody, my name is Oleg Relyan. I'm the owner and co-founder of Amberstar Real Estate, and as I usually say, I'm a father of 3 children, 1 girl, 1 boy, and 1 company. So Amberstar for me is like my child, and as about our activity, we are working in real estate market in Portugal. We cover all the country, and for some last years we are working a lot with Golden Visa program. So maybe it's not very good to say it from me, but maybe nobody in Portugal know more about Golden Visa than me. So I will try to explain you why. We will talk about Golden Visa, and I will give you some life hacks that you will not find on Google. So let's go. There are some kind of investments in Portugal that give you a right to apply for Golden Visa. We just will speak about 3 of them, the most important 3 kind of investments: direct investments, business investments, and real estate investments. So the direct investments, we have 2 options here. First of all, 1.5 million is the most expensive program, and by the way, I will explain you how to use this option to apply for Golden Visa in Portugal, because it's very expensive, but these options have some good opportunities, and I will explain it later. The second option, 500,000 euros, 500,000 euros, it's a minimum investment in a venture fund. So we work with some funds, we have some relationships with many funds in Portugal. From myself, I can recommend one of the best funds. So usually we work a lot with one of them that is very different than another funds. It's a Saratoga Capital. So the difference is there are no any inscription fee, it's 0. There are some warranted rentability for the 6 or 8 years. There is a warranted buyback, so when the investor wants to go out, he just needs to advertise the fund 1 month before, and this is a fund without any life terms. So usually the venture funds in Portugal have a life term for 6 plus 1 plus 1. This fund don't have this condition. It can work for 15, 20, 25 years. The second option is a business investments. We have 2 sub-options here. It's about business investment. So first of all, the first option I just can recommend to people who know Portugal and who can invest in Portugal, but they know the economy, they know the traditions, they know maybe the language. Is not necessary, of course, but if they know Portugal, they can create a company in Portugal and create 10 job positions for the next 5 years. Any investment for Golden Visa must be doing for 5 years, must be keep for 5 years. If you are a medium or good specialist in Portugal, you can open this company. What can happen if you will not keep these 10 job positions? You will lose the possibility to renew your Golden Visa. The second option, it is more clear, maybe is more understandable for many people. It is an investment of 500,000 in an existing company, and in this case, the company just needs to create or keep 5 job positions for the next 3 years. For example, we can study the example of the investment in our company. If somebody is interested to invest in Amberstar Real Estate, 500,000 euros, we need to create or keep 5 job positions. So now we have 20 people that work in our company, so we don't need to create new job positions. But there is another condition: we need to increase our social capital for 500,000. So this money, unfortunately, is not for me like a founder of a company, it is for the company. Investment in commercial real estate. So we'll talk about commercial or non-residential real estate and residential real estate, because the conditions are different for these two kinds of real estate. Commercial real estate, basically, we have 4 programs here: 500, 400, 350, 100, and 280,000. What is the difference? The difference is with the properties that the investor will purchase and the location where the properties are situated. So 500,000 euros, you can invest in any non-residential property anywhere in Portugal. 350,000, you can invest in a property that have 2 conditions. First of all, the property must be with more than 30 years old, or it must be the property that is situated in rehabilitation area. What is rehabilitation area? Rehabilitation area is some areas in many municipalities in Portugal. It's a special area that are delimited, and when the investor say us that want to invest 350,000, we will give him all the information where these rehabilitation areas are situated. I want to say that the property must be ever new or in construction if the property is situated in rehabilitation area. It don't need to be property with more than 30 years old. But if the property is not situated in rehabilitation area, it must be a property with more than 30 years old. It's about another 2 programs, 400,000 and 280,000. It is exactly the same, like 500 and 350, but with one more additional condition. The properties must be situated in low density population area of Portugal. I will show you in a few minutes, I will show you the map that explain all these 4 programs. In residential real estate, so it is practically the same like in non-residential real estate, but there is one restriction. The property cannot be situated in big cities and most of coastal areas in Portugal. So you can see here the map. Maybe somebody have a pen. Please. Just to show.
Knife.
A knife, okay. A knife. It's a little dangerous, but okay. So you can see this area. In this area, you can invest in residential and commercial, and it is a low density area. So it is available for 280 or 400,000 program. So 75 more or less % of territory of Portugal is available for 280 or 400,000 euros investment. Residential and commercial area, but high density. So you can see here some regions that you can buy residential properties, but for 350 or 500,000 euros. Commercial only low density. So in these areas, you can buy properties for 280 or 400,000, but non-residential properties. And commercial only, high density. In this area, as you can see, Porto, Lisbon, most of coastal area, you just can buy non-residential properties. Just non-residential properties, and just for program 350 and 500,000 euros. Thank you for the knife. So, applying for golden visa in Portugal. What are the advantages of golden visa, Portuguese golden visa program? The first and most important advantage is simple, is the passport. So this is a unique country in European Union when you can apply for the residency, and after 5 years, without the condition to live in Portugal, you can apply for the passport. I will explain how it happens. The first golden visa, the investor will receive for 2 years. After that, after 2 years, so of course the investor needs to keep his investment, and after 2 years the investor can renew his golden visa for more 2 years, and after that more 2 years. So on the middle of the 3rd term, when the investor will be the owner of 5 years of residency, he can apply for a passport. This program is for people who are not citizens of European United, okay? So for the people that are citizens of Europe, they don't need to invest for golden visa, they just can, and a lot of people do it, a lot of people who are coming for Portugal to live in Portugal, they can apply for non-habitual resident status and have a lot of advantages with this status as about paying the taxes. But we will come back to golden visa program. So after 5 years, for applying for Portuguese passport, you just need to keep your golden visa for 5 years, and you need to do a test of Portuguese language that is very simple. We are talking about the test of A2 level. Every 2 years, there is a condition for renewing a golden visa. You need to spend in Portugal 14 days. So you don't need to live in Portugal, you just need to come to Portugal 1 time for 14 days, or 2 times for 7 days, or 14 times for 1 day, as you want. But just 14 days in 2 years. Who can apply for golden visa? Can apply the investor, the spouse, children and parents. There are some moments, like, for example, children can apply for golden visa if they are minors, so less than 18 years old. But if we are talking about children with more than 18 years old, they can apply too, but we just need to show that they are dependents of the parents, so of the main investor. It is just necessary to be, for example, a student in a high university. As about the parents, after 65 years old is automatically less than 65 years old. We just need to show that the parents are dependent of main investor. How to do it? It is very simple, actually. It is just necessary to show that the main investor did some bank transfers for some 4 or 5 months, 3, 4, 5 months for his parents, and the parents pay with this money, pay some bills like water, electricity. They go to supermarket, they put the gasoline in the car, so things like that. When we will apply for the parents on the SEF, on the immigration services for a golden visa, we will show that the main investor did this bank transfers, and the parents need this money to live, for living. What can the main investor and all his family do with golden visa in Portugal? Absolutely everything. They just cannot vote. So they can study, they can not study, they can work or not work, they can open a business, everything, but they cannot vote. With a golden visa, all the owners of golden visa can go to European Union just with a residency for 3 months every 6 months. And also there are some things that is necessary to know, like if an investor will invest 350,000, for example, it is not strictly necessary to buy 1 property for 350,000. He can buy 2 properties with all the amount, with total amount of 350. And he need to have, for this program, he need to have a rehabilitation works contract and buying a property contract. After that, on the contrarium, more investors can buy a property together, like 2 or 3 people can buy together 1 property. I will show you, in a few minutes, I will show you some properties when the investor, many investors can buy this property and apply all together for golden visa. Sometimes people ask me if it is possible to use the mortgage in the Portuguese bank for investment for golden visa. You can, but you cannot. The minimum amount that investor will invest for a golden visa must be that minimum amount by law, like 280, 350, 500 or 400,000. But if the investor will buy a property for 700,000 and the minimum for this property for applying a golden visa is 500,000, he can apply for the mortgage for the difference, for 200,000 euros. Why Portugal? Why Portugal? It is a very interesting question, and Google can help you, but I just will tell you two moments. Portugal is the country that for the last 3 years is in the first place of the most popular touristic destinations in the world. 3 years, the last 3 years. Portugal, for example, for the second consecutive year is occupied the third place in the most safe countries in the world. So here we will talk about some properties, just to know some different examples, where you can invest for applying for golden visa. We have here a project of apart hotel, Faria Guimarães. The place is Faria Guimarães. It's a street in Porto. So this kind of properties is available for investment or in golden visa for 350,000. There is 41 service apartments. And why these apartments are available for golden visa? Because this is not residential property. So it is a touristic property with service license. This is the layout, how the apartments will be on the end of the works. Every apartment will have a parking place. The construction was started in January this year and will finish on the third quarter of 2023. So the price is there. We have 3 kind of apartments. Studio for 350,000, 1 bedroom 400,000, and 2 bedroom 450,000. So as I said, in this kind of properties, for example, for 2 bedroom, you can apply for a mortgage. You just need to invest 350,000 to be available for applying for golden visa, and you can apply for a mortgage in the Portuguese bank for 100,000 euros. So in this case, the owner will propose to the investor to sign a contract for 20 years with warranted rentability in the first 5 years for 3.5%. After that, the rentability is approximately calculated because, you know, with the COVID and all this situation, it is very difficult to say exact numbers. But this is a study that the owners did. Another our property is a student residential complex in Braga. It's a city on 77 kilometers north of Porto. So there we will have a lot of apartments that are available for 500,000 euros. But of course, the apartments are much more cheapest, and for applying for a golden visa for 500,000, you will need to buy some apartments. So the location of this building is 1,500 meters from the University of Minho. There are some parking for cars. A cleaning service in the apartments will be included in the service too. Reception, the security, air conditioning, gym, self-service laundry, and other services will be provided for students that will live there. So we are talking about an investment project. So the people who will invest, investors who will invest in this project will have a contract for 20 years with the owners and will have warranted rentability for first 5 years. And the rentability, for 20 years, not for 5. The previous one was for 5. Here we are talking about warranted rentability for 20 years. And the rentability can be from 5 to 6%, and it depends how many apartments the investor will purchase. So for a rentability of 5%, the investor just need to buy from 1 to 4 apartments. For 5.5% per year, 5 to 9 apartments. And if the investor will buy 10 or more apartments, the rentability for 20 years will be 6%. Where is the prices of these apartments in this student complex? T0 from 65,300 euros. So, for example, an investor who will buy 10 T0s will spend 653,000 euros and will have a rentability of 6% for 20 years. In this specific case, because in Portugal we don't have VAT on the properties, on the buying of properties. But in this specific case, like it is a commercial project, there is a VAT. But the VAT is, how to say in English, is auto-liquidated. So when you will buy the property, one property for example, 65,300 euros, you will not pay actually the VAT, but you will pay the VAT when you will sell the property. And it depends when, in what moment you will sell the property. Because if you will sell the property after 20 years, you will not pay VAT too, because each year you will have a discount in the VAT for 5%. So if you will sell the property after 10 years, you will have a discount 5%. Multiplicate for 10 years, you will have a discount of 50% from the VAT. The VAT in Portugal is 23%. Our product number one, our real estate project number one, it is our future office in Lisbon. So we are selling this property with one condition. The new owner will rent this property to us. So what we propose to the owner, it is 5,000 euros per month. It means it is 5% of rentability per year for 15 years. Also, as I said before, I will show an example where three families, for example, three investors can make an investment together and every family will apply for golden visa. This is the example. The price of this office in the center of Lisbon is 1,200,000. So, but this property is available for golden visa 350,000. If any investor will invest 400,000, all three together with their family can apply for golden visa. Also, we can study here another example. For example, just one investor who wants to buy this property for 1.2 million. He just can invest 350,000 euros and can apply for the mortgage for the rest of the amount. Okay? And in this case, the rentability will be even higher than 5% because he just will invest 350,000 euros, but will take the same 5,000 per month. The office will be like this. Now we are talking about just a space that needs some works, but we will do these works. So this is a good opportunity for any investor because they will buy the property with nothing and after 15 years they will have a property completely equipped. And the last one, it's a 5-star hotel in Quinta do Lago. It's the first one that the investor don't need to do any works because it is an hotel in maybe most beautiful place in Portugal. And this hotel is already worked. Okay, so buying a property here, you'll have the advantage to apply for a golden visa because the property is not residential too, it is a hotel. But the investor can live there for some time and can rent the property for the time when the investor is not in Portugal. We are talking about prices for penthouse apartment from 251 square meters to 329 square meters, and the prices are starting in 1,965,000. So for 2-bedroom apartments, it is from 705,000, and for 1-bedroom apartment from 534,000 euros. So any apartment can give a right to, is available for applying for golden visa in Portugal. This is the real photos, how the apartments are today. The investor can choose between two forms of rentability. The option A, it's a warranted rentability of 4% per year during 5 years, okay? For the sales will be closed for 31 May of 2022, so you also have some days to decide. And the option B, it's a rentability pool program, and in this case the investor will have 42.5% of the net rental income. So these are our contacts. You can contact us anytime. We have a good team that we call Golden Visa Department. They are working some nice girls that knows everything about Golden Visa program in Portugal, and you will have the best service that you can have in Portugal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite both Oleg and Luigi for a short discussion about the European Golden Visas. So the first question would be, maybe I suggest you to answer one by one. Luigi, we'll start from you. The general question is, what do you think about the general situation because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, how it affects citizenship by investment industry in general, how it affects golden visa applications, and for those who apply from other countries, let's say China, India, and Middle East, are there any differences, and like your general comments on that?
Wow. Okay, if I would have an answer on this question, I would be billionaire tomorrow. Yeah, it's a very complicated situation, of course, for the investment markets. Nobody is really safe. As I explained in my speech, before we brought European or American investors to Russia. Now we have many demands from Russian as well as Ukrainian companies which want to leave the country. And that means relocation of whole industries. That this was happening at the moment, yeah, because what we see there is indeed, especially in Russia, the companies are dying. They're dying. The supply chains, they are totally interrupted. Nothing is going there, and so what I see is indeed a change from these countries to Europe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Oleg, your comments?
You know, when we are speaking about the war, is everything something bad, yeah? And of course, the war in Ukraine have a big influence in our business too, because we mostly works with Russians and Ukrainians until the war, and we have many Russian clients, for example, that are completely shame with this situation. And I just want to say that we cannot judge the people altogether. Okay, of course there are some guilty. Okay, there are a list of European Union with people that are considering guilty in this situation. But when we are talking about our clients, we are talking about normal people that feel very bad with this situation, and they cannot have some influence to change something. And we still work with Ukrainians and the Russians even today. We have a lot of clients from Ukraine and from Russia that want to move to Portugal, and we have some ways to help them. Of course, it is impossible to, for example, to open an account for a Russian or Belarusian citizen in Portugal. We try to use trust accounts. That is a good way to help them to move to Europe. And I can say that our clients are still keep interested in invest in European Union. Of course, they are afraid. They ask a lot of things like what is the situation in Portugal, how people look to Russians. You know, people are different. Somebody understand that they are not all the same. Somebody don't understand. I will not judge nobody. Everybody have a own opinion, okay? And everybody have this right to have an opinion. But I can say that it's still possible to do some investment, but it's much more hard to do it than, for example, last year.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. And as we hear, many countries are considering to adjust their programs, to cancel something, to add something new. Are there any changes will apply in your countries? Maybe let's start from Spain. Do you expect some changes in Spain in the in the upcoming years, maybe about the ticket of investment, conditions, anything you expect to be changed?
Yeah, the problem is the inflation. Mm-hmm. All is becoming much more expensive and more and more and more. If I see, for example, we are located in Palma de Mallorca. Maybe someone knows Palma de Mallorca here. It's a wonderful island, and the property prices they grow about 35%, and that makes investment also more risky. Yeah? That's a problem. But regarding the golden visa, we have at the moment a stop for Russian nationalities. That's a problem. But I think that will change sometimes. It's a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oleg, what about Portugal?
So as you know, the program, as about golden visa program, the program was changed from 1st of January this year. So I don't think that will be changes in the next future. As about properties, I say that, usually I say that the biggest problem now in Portugal it is to find a good property for a good price, because prices like in Spain, like in other countries of Europe, increase a lot. We have a good team that all the day works in this direction, and they try to find new opportunities for investment. But it is every day much more difficult to find something. It's about other changes, like in Spain, in Portugal, the golden visa program for Russians and Belarusians are stopped, but it doesn't mean that people cannot buy the property. So usually our clients now are buying properties. We can apply for golden visa, but they already know that the processes will be stopped for some time. Mm-hmm. So like our foreign minister said, it will be stopped for some time. It means that it will work, continue to work for Russians too, but nobody knows how many time will take this stop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. If the investors are asking a general advice how to pick up the right property for investment in your country, I know this is a complicated question and there is no one solution for all, but maybe you can give a general advice for that. How to pick the right one?
I mean, the solution which he offered some minutes ago, it's a crime. I mean, you cannot open a trust account for a Russian citizen.
No.
It's a crime. You're avoiding the embargoes. At the moment, everything is blocked. You cannot open trust account. There are some ways via Dubai, for example, because Dubai receive all the funds from Russia and from everywhere. But then you have the problem to bring this money from Dubai to Spain or to Portugal. You must be very careful. At the moment, I cannot recommend to be very active in this case. You can prepare everything, but to transfer money from these countries or from these people, I cannot recommend at the moment. It's a crime. It's a crime.
No, it's not.
A huge problem.
It's not legit. By the way, for each client, we do our KIC process, know your client process, and
KYC
is QIC, and all the transfers pass by this QIC. So it is legal. It is legal. I don't know in Spain. I am talking about Portugal. It is legal to receive their money in a trust account. And the trust account is a trust account of our company, is not a trust account of the client, of course. So when Russians or Belarusians wants to buy a property in Portugal and all the purchase processes are registered in the notary, we say that the price of this property was paid from the trust account, so it's nothing illegal here.
Okay. So the
but of course, we need to provide a lot of documents where this money are coming from. Declarations of, in Russian, the name is NDFL. Okay, so we need to prove that the money is clean. It is, of course, it is an obligatory process. But nobody said that Russians cannot buy a property in Portugal by the trust account or by their account if they was opening the account before 24 February. I know more or less the situation in Spain, so I'm not expert in Spain.
I'm not talking about Spain, I'm just talking about the money regulation related in this crisis in Europe. If Portugal is different, maybe it can be.
We must explain where the money are coming from.
Yeah, that's normal, even in not crisis
Nothing more.
situation. Yeah, that also. That's good, okay. So we use Portugal in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you. But for the general advice how to pick up the right investment, could you please comment? For example, if the investor is asking you, Luigi, I would like to invest in Spain, how do I pick up the right property?
At the moment, how to invest and where to invest, good question. At the moment, I think in general, if you have inflation situations, you have to invest in properties, gold, maybe silver. That's what's happening at the moment.
Thank you. Oleg, what is your advice?
You know, I think you hear it before. I usually say, what is good for a Russian kill the German, or vice versa, because every investor is different. Everybody have different objectives and goals, and to advise somebody to invest somewhere, I just need to speak with this person first of all, okay? Because it depends where he wants to come, okay? What is the objective of this investment? If the objective is rentability, maybe I will say that the best investment will be in the property. But if the objective is to make to do some established investment, maybe the venture fund is the best, because all the venture funds have some rentability, and they are much more, how to say, established than properties, because now properties are increased. We don't know in the future. So I just need to talk with many different peoples, invest in different things.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't have any more questions, but maybe someone wants to ask something about Spain or Portugal. Please feel free if you have any questions. If you don't, I would like to thank you so much for the presentation. Everything was quite informative, so we know a lot about Spain and Portugal now. And thank you. So we are moving on to our next topic.